Welcome to the Bio 100 Lab Kit Pickup. What you should have in front of you is one of these large boxes, whether someone has set it in front of you or you have grabbed it from up on one of the shelves. You need one of these in front of you. You also need to have the checklist and contract. That's going to be this right here. What we are going to do is go through the kit, make sure that everything on this list is in this box. You are going to use a pencil or pen to check off the items that are in the kit. If something is missing, you will circle the item, and then after this video, we will make sure that you get that missing item. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing you're going to do is take off the lid and set it in front of you like so. I like to get out the big items first and set them not on the lid, but kind of to the side here. I like to set this little box onto the lid. One more thing here. There we go. I have left an item in the kit itself, and that is this big styrofoam box. That is going to hold your microscope and the power cord to your microscope. You can leave that in here. They should all already be checked. They are taped together. When you get home, I'd highly recommend making sure to open that box very carefully. You need to hold on to the styrofoam. The styrofoam is necessary for repackaging those microscopes. That is also going to be the last item on the list. So if you want to go ahead and check that off right here, go ahead and do that. Everyone should have a microscope in that styrofoam box, and the power cord will be inside of that box. Now, I kind of go in a little bit of a weird order, so bear with me. First thing we're going to do is take off the lid to that little shoe box, and we are going to dump the contents carefully, gently, onto that box lid. We are going to put the items back into the box in kind of a backwards order, and it makes a little bit more sense once we go through it. So I am going through the items underneath shoebox, but I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way up, okay? So make sure that you know that we are starting with the bag of oatmeal and working our way up the list. So, bag of oatmeal. It is going to be this bag of oatmeal. Make sure that after you've used the oatmeal in the lab that you put it back into this bag and back into this box. Go ahead and check off your bag of oatmeal. The next item is going to be a wax pencil. The wax pencil looks like this. Should be a black kind of crayon looking pencil, and there it is. We're going to go ahead and put that in the box and check off that we have it. From there, I'm going to go through the next two items together. It is the ruler and the protractor. Just in case you aren't sure what the difference is, this is a ruler and this is a protractor. Go ahead, put them into the box. Check off ruler, check off protractor. From there, we have a box of colored pencils. Go ahead and put these into the box as well. And check them off. Next up is bibulous paper, which is a very fun word to say. This paper is very thin. You will use it to clean the slides as well as the microscope if need be. So bibulous paper, go ahead, put that into the box. Check off the bibulous paper booklet. From there, you're going to see something that says bag of pop beads and then a handful of things underneath it. You are going to find this bag, very colorful. It has yellow, red, and green and orange. So find the mitosis meiosis pop bead lab kit. The thing that I want you to do is make sure that there is a good amount of yellow beads, a good amount of red beads, and 8 of these gray magnetic pieces. There should be a good handful of string in there that if you need to, you can cut it up to use it that way or tie it together. So go ahead, double check all of that. I like to kind of fold over the top, makes it a little bit more manageable. Put that into your shoebox and then check off the pop bead kit, bag of pop beads. From there, we will find 2 more bags, and these are our bags of beans. We have white beans and we have brown beans. You are going to potentially notice that there are more white beans than there are brown beans. You do not need to count them. There should be plenty for the labs that you're going to be doing with the beans. Just make sure you have both bags. We're going to put that into our shoebox and check off white and brown for our bags of beans. From there, you should find an unlabeled bag of glass slides. So these are slides for a microscope. They are empty. Once you have used one, you will not clean it and put it back. You will use it and then throw it away. Please only use one or as many as the instructor is informing you to use, which should just be one. We're going to put that into the shoebox and check off our bag of glass slides. We have a bag of hardware next. It's going to be a bag with a few pieces of hardware in it. Go ahead, put that in the shoebox, and then we are going to mark off bag of hardware. Next is a bag of Alka-Seltzer. You should have roughly 10 to 11 different little packets of Alka-Seltzer. You do not need to count them. If it looks kind of like this, you should be good to go. There's that. Go ahead and mark off bag of Alka-Seltzer tablets. Next, I want you to find the 30 to 50 milliliter beaker. This is going to be this tiny little beaker here, and it could be between 30 and 50 depending on what kit you have. So it's a really tiny guy. Go ahead, put that into the kit. And we are going to check that off. Next is the thermometer sticker. So it's going to look like this. All right, make sure that you have a thermometer sticker. Go ahead, put that into the shoebox. Check it off of the list. Good to go. From there, you are going to find the blue slide box. It looks like this, pretty blue. Take off the lid. You'll notice on the inside it tells you everything that this little box should have. Go ahead and count your slides. You should have 8 slides. If you do not have 8 slides, we need to figure out which one you are missing. So if you are missing a slide, go ahead and set your box to the side and we will figure that out after the video. But if you have all 8 slides, go ahead, put that gently into the shoebox and you are good to go. We'll come back to the list and check off that we have everything that we need with the blue slide box. From there, we have 2 jeweler's loops. These are going to look like this. You should have one that says 30, 30x, and the other one should be either a 10x or 16x, depending on which kit you have. Either way, you should have a 30 and then a 10 to 16, 2 of them. Go ahead, put them in, check off that you have both. And then we will move on to the 10 mil graduated cylinder. That is this guy, itty bitty tiny. Go ahead, put that into the kit and come back to the list. We will check it off. Next is a bottle of ethanol. This is the only chemical that we are sending you home with. You need to make sure that you keep it out of the reach of children or pets. Ethanol will not kill them, but they won't feel good. They might throw up if they consume it. So that is why we have put do not drink. So make sure that you have ethanol in your shoebox. Go ahead and mark that off the list. Next is forceps. Those are going to be these guys. They look like tweezers. Mark that off of your list. Next is hole punch. It doesn't matter what color the handle is as long as you have a hole punch in your kit. Go back to the list, mark it off, and then we move on to the last item, which is safety goggles. This can be in a bag, they could just be willy-nilly. Just make sure that you have a pair of safety goggles. We'll put those things in there. Oh, and don't forget to check it off. And into the shoebox it goes. Everything's in there, nice and neat. And I'm going to put that back into the big box. From there, we're going to move over to the other side of the list where it starts with 400 ml beaker. That's going to be this guy. This larger beaker, a lot bigger than the little one that was in the box before. I do like to put the 3 ears of corn that you will have next into the beaker. Just keeps them from rolling around in the kit. Right into the kit. Make sure you check off 400 ml beaker and check off 3 ears of corn. Next is the mesh strainer, this guy. Please make sure to clean this very well when you have finished using it. They are a little bit hard to clean. Do your best, but please clean it. Into the kit. And we are checking off mesh strainer. From there, we have the 250 ml graduated cylinder. Big guy. Go ahead, put that in. Sign off. And then the next one is the laminated background. You'll notice that I didn't get this one out, but it is in the kit. This guy right here, just a laminated kind of poster of a picture. Everybody's picture is different. Go ahead, make sure you have one of those. Slide it in, and we will check that off. From there, it is the blood lab kit. You will need to find the smaller box that says blood lab kit on it. If you open that up, you should have 7 bottles. 4 of them should be red, 1 should be blue, 1 should be yellow, and 1 should be clear. So make sure you have those 7 bottles in your blood kit. You should also have a handful of toothpicks. Make sure you have a handful of toothpicks, as well as at least 4 of these. They are the blood well plates. So make sure you have at least 4 of those. I would also put the recommendation to not consume any of those items and to make sure that the blood well plates are nice and clean before they go back into this box. If you have toothpicks that you have used, they do not need to go back into this box. You can discard them in the trash. We'll put this guy into the box and we will check off all of those items for the blood lab kit. From there, we want to find the blue folder. So the blue folder is this navy blue folder. If you open it up, you're going to see that there's a handful of different colored construction paper. So there should be 10 pieces of colored construction paper, as well as at least 15 index cards. So if you have a nice little packet of index cards, that's good. And then 1 brown paper bag. There is one item that is on the list that goes into the blue folder that might not necessarily be in the blue folder, but you need to make sure you have it. We may have them sitting out in front of you on the table. Make sure you grab one if it is not in the blue folder already. And that is the lab booklet for your online class. So make sure you have one of these, very important. You are going to be using this booklet to write in. It is yours to keep. So please do not put them back in when you return the kit. This one's yours. So if you want to, you can slide that into that blue folder and into the kit it goes. From there, we have the laminated river watch key. That is this item here. Make sure that it is present in your kit. Slide it on in. Make sure you check off everything that was in the blue folder, the laminated river watch key, and we already went over the microscope. On top of the lid, on the inside, you're going to see there is an index with pictures of items that maybe you weren't sure what it was. So in case you get confused while you're taking the class, you can always reference this index. So if you were not sure what a protractor was, well, it's right here. There's a picture, shows you what it is. If you flip the lid over to the other side, you're going to see that there is a list that goes through by lab what you need to complete the lab. The other thing you're going to notice is that there is a handful of items that are highlighted. You are not going to put those items back into the kit when you are finished with those labs. So if you do, it's probably messy. Please don't put it back in. I would prefer for you not to do that. At the very top, if you need to return your kit early, or if you break an item, please make sure to contact Judith Martin. Her email address is right up at the top here. So you have access to that at all times. Go ahead, put the lid back on. We're going to close that up. We're going to go back to our checklist. And from here, what I would like for you to do is fill in this next portion here. So it is going to be the contractual part of the kit. So by checking off all of the items on the list above, you, the student, or whoever is picking up the kit for the student, is agreeing that you have all of those checked off items, and that you will return those items in good condition at the end of the semester or whenever you turn the kit in. Make sure that it is in good, clean condition. Should the kit or items in the kit not return broken, or return with an odor or dirty, the student will be held responsible and risk being fined for the entirety of the kit or for individual items in the kit. So please make sure that you return this kit in good, clean condition. Do not smoke near the kit. Do not leave items in the kit that may stink or cause the other items to get dirty. That would not be good. Underneath there it says kit number. Make sure to record your kit number, which is on the front of the kit. Sign and date. Thank you so much.